Yeah, so to start the video off strong, I obliterated my Terry's major on my left side, cutting it, shaving. So that's how I started the day, and then there's that cool picture of the moon. And then I don't even know what I'm doing here. Making faces at the camera or something. What up, what up? I'm gonna keep this kind of brief, but I definitely wanted to get my voice active and moving before I started to sprint. I've kind of been dilly-dallying a little bit to a certain degree. You know, I've been moving around. I've been doing things, getting things done, but haven't started my sprints yet, which I need to do that now. And hopefully we'll get a nice little time PR today. Feeling good. Got the baking soda in my system, so really shouldn't be dealing with any lactic. You know, Monday I didn't use any baking soda, and like I said, I also didn't activate my voice, activate my brain, and it was a little harder. Endurance I wasn't really holding my speed very well towards the end, but Wednesday was a lot better. Today should be really good. It's a non-negotiable anymore to have that baking soda in my system. You know, really makes a huge difference. But yeah, we're gonna get after it right now. And I'm feeling 11 minutes flat. 34 reps, 11 minutes flat. And that'll be a nice little PR for me. We're gonna make it happen, because you can't stop me. I'm coming for everything that I ever wanted, and I'm gonna run through a brick wall to get it. Let's go. We got this. Well, we just hit an absolute super PR. Cut my time by almost 3 minutes. Insane. The main variable in this, I would say, is you know, my force output overall was a little bit less than Wednesday, just because my legs have a little bit of DOMs, obviously, from training legs hard. So more of my focus today was placed on more of a bouncy plyometric type strike, which I made a video saying that you should be striking the ground as hard as possible. But you know, sometimes you got to listen to your body and know when you need to switch it up and do some more of that. What most people are doing the whole time when they're sprinting is just bouncing and staying off the ground as long as they can, which is not conducive for speed. But again, it's all about knowing who you are, knowing how to get the most out of your circumstance that day, and ultimately getting the best result, which, you know, I've been doing this long enough. I know when my body is telling me when to alternate between a specific stimulus and what cues I have to implement in order to get that result. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but just the shorter deceleration window helped massively. So I was running through the line, obviously, but then I was just stopping way harder, not letting myself go past 10 meters of a decel window, because sometimes, you know, especially when I'm working on more force production horizontally, you know, that'll carry me well 15-20 meters through the line, and then obviously it's going to take me longer to get back to the starting position. So yeah, that cut off a significant amount of time too, but overall really happy with it. If you have a goal in mind for something you want to accomplish, the only thing it can do is help you. There's no such thing as shooting for a goal, and even if you miss, more than likely, because you aimed so high at a specific trajectory that you wanted to accomplish, you're still gonna land further than if you set a realistic goal or didn't set a goal at all. So the main gist, the main message I'm trying to convey to you here is dream big, man. Even if it's something little like this, trying to get your sprint times down. It all matters in the grand scheme of things, because these little improvements, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, decade by decade, if you're always striving for that minuscule little improvement, that compounds greater than you could ever imagine. And slow and steady is the fastest way to get anywhere. Trying to take these shortcuts and get somewhere as fast as you can with these huge leaps and bounds never ends well. And I've been there before, trying to take the shortcut everywhere, trying to see the results as fast as possible. The more you try and chase something, the faster it'll run away from you. You gotta kind of have a little bit of a detachment from it, which is why I said that if you set a goal, no matter what, you're winning, because either way you're gonna land among the stars. If you shoot for the moon, right there, shoot for the moon. Also, dude, I was extremely hungry when I was doing my test, which I think also is a key component in achieving what you set out to do. Like every morning on my training days, I try and make it so that I wake up as hungry as possible, because that just signals to me that we got to get up and we have things to do. If you wake up and you're full from the day before and you're lethargic and you're sluggish because you got all this shit sitting in your stomach. Not conducive. Not saying to underfeed yourself at all. You gotta fuel yourself to perform, but it's strategic. The intake is slightly less, just to have that little jolt, that little spark. It's an underrated element that most don't really think of when it comes to putting yourself in a situation to succeed towards the things that you want. So for my pre-workout, I had 2 bananas, some sea salt, and some raw honey, little concoction. All right, I'm gonna take on a big rant here, a big angry rant, and I'm going to talk about why you don't ever need to warm up, or you should at least train to never have to warm up and have elite levels of GPP, general physical preparedness. So I just got back from walking the track and doing some tempo sprints, which you'll actually see later in the video. And I did those sprints with no warm up after work, okay? Because that's what I trained for. I trained to roll out of bed and be ready to attack and be violent and strike. And it made me mad because of the others that were around me, and they were doing all these menial warm-ups and neurotic warm-ups to literally go essentially walk. They were jogging at such a slow pace that I would consider it to be the same speed as my walking speed. Why do you even think that you have to warm up to do that? Warming up to walk? Your body should be clearly prepared to do that with no issue. Your body should be prepared to do any single movement without any warm-up, without issue. And by without a warm-up, I mean without all these static stretches, these neurotic, schizophrenic, Alzheimer's-esque movements. Ultimately, you're just making your body weaker by literally training yourself to not be able to do anything without an ample warm-up. And coming from a baseball background, both like my whole life up until college, or I played in college, what am I talking about? Up until I graduated college, there were so many guys that just had these absolutely drawn out routines, and they like could not even touch a baseball without having done this routine. But all you're doing is literally telling your brain, telling your body that we can't do anything until we've done all of these precursor movements. Like, what are you going to do if someone comes into your house with a shotgun and you have to run for your life? You're not gonna have time to stretch. And more often than not, these people that have trained themselves to not be able to do any sort of explosive sprint or jump or athletic variation of any kind, they're gonna die. They're dead. They don't even have a shot. So the whole premise at the core of my training is to be simply harder to kill, whether that be from an external physical stimulus like an intruder, or again another human being or an animal trying to end my life force. Yes, that's a component, that's a variable to the equation that I think about. But also being harder to kill in terms of intrinsically, internally, making sure that my bodily systems and the organism as a whole remains intact to a degree where it doesn't turn on itself and start destroying itself from inside out, like so many people experience in this life. Your body never does anything wrong. If it starts to turn on you and attack, simply that's just because of the habits that you've treated it. So it's really karma for yourself, because at the end of the day, we aren't our physical bodies at all. That's why I differentiate it. I literally call my physical body my physical organism or my system. That's not me though, because all I am is I'm the spirit inside the body. I'm not even my mind either, because that's a physical organ. I'm the spirit that inhabits this vessel, and I can choose to make my vessel do certain things in order to get a certain result. But at the end of the day, I don't get to take this body with me to heaven as a believer in Christ. But the physical and the spiritual are greatly tied. So that's no excuse to neglect your fitness and your health and the functionality of what your physical organism that you're encased in can do. Honestly, it makes it that much more important, because you need a strong body to protect your spirit. And more often than not, it's very difficult to find someone with a strong spirit who does not, in the same breath, also contain itself within a strong body. That's why externally so many people judge a book by its cover on the first appearance, the first impression that they get from a person, because the external ultimately is the best picture that we have of the internal. So when you see someone that is appealing to your eye, attractive to your eye, more likely than not, that's a sign that spiritually also they match you in a certain way at that specific period in time. And I won't say that that could last forever, because spirits can change, heart posture can change, the physical vessel can change. All of these variables ultimately could lead to a destruction or faulting in the spiritual realm, which could lead to spirits to be unentwined. I don't even know if that's a word. Detangled is a better word. Two spirits to become detangled that were once attached together into one entity. But I'm getting kind of deep into it. But yeah, I don't even know how I got on this tangent. I just kind of started yapping, I guess. I don't even know how to get back on track. Where even were we? I'm not sure, but that was kind of flow state. I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully someone took something out of that. I just super wholeheartedly value the connection between all three areas of human consciousness: the physical vessel, the spiritual soul, and then your mind, your cranial organ. And in a way, the spirit and the mind, they kind of overlap in certain facets, but that's another conversation for a different day, you know. So I got out of work a little bit ago, and it's so nice out. I got the urge to run again. I got the urge to sprint. But right now I'm just walking around. Want to get the mitochondria fired up. Dude, these next Friday, today, Saturday, and Monday, it's gonna be crazy work capacity. Crazy work capacity. I'm gonna really see what I'm made of. But, you know, I think I'm gonna take it pretty light here. I just want to kind of break a slight sweat. Maybe more like 85% intent. Like 10 to 12 reps, maybe 10, 110 meters. More like Strider, more like tempo. Yeah, I think that sounds good. I think I'm gonna do that. Fire the engine back up. The only way to get energy is to use energy, right? So that is what I am planning on doing right now. Outro time. I need to record another clip after that tempo run clip, but I just had some food. Oh man, been a long day. Had some blueberries and sweet potato. Nothing crazy, you know. Mr. Dialed on my diet over here. But yeah, gonna record again tomorrow, so you better tune in. You better tune in. But no, I love you guys as always. Whoever makes it to the end, man, for these outros, I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.